everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and this is A Fields Full House. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top goals for going into the year 2020. That just sounds so weird, 2020. Anyways, so today's video is actually a part of a collaboration with Christy from One Blessed Mess. So be sure to check out the playlist that I will have in the description box below. I know some other awesome ladies are tuning in and sharing their goals for this upcoming year as well. So I am not a big resolution type person, but usually in the upcoming year I kind of set some goals that I want to work on, and it's nothing that I really make that big of a deal. It's just kind of more to myself. So I actually broke these up into different categories because I do want to work on things, different areas in our life. So it's funny, actually, I was asking my husband, I was like, so what is your goal for 2020? And he said to not die. And I was like, I guess that's a pretty good goal. I don't know. He's not one to make resolutions either. Anyways, it was just funny. So first, if you have been following us, you know that our family has been quite sick. We are towards the tail end of it. So that's what he said. He was like, my goal is for us to be healthy and get over this crud that we've got going on. So anyways, in the category for our family, I really want to work on doing more nature type field trips. So I actually made this goal for myself at the beginning of our school year for 2019. Yes, baby. Okay, sorry. So I really made that goal. I wanted to do more nature type field trips, and I have a list of places that I want to go to. Some were bust, some were great. So I actually want to continue that as well. And it being a little bit cooler here, we're in Florida, so it's not too cold for us to do things. We will have some cold days, but anyways, now would be a good time to do some of those trips. Another thing I want to focus on as a family is our kids are super crafty and artistic, and I really want to continue that drive in them, especially for my older girls, because once they start becoming those preteen ages, they start putting those art supplies down a little bit more than, you know, like when they're little kids. So I want to make more art days as a family, to where we just sit down and we paint and we do something like that. So I really want to incorporate that a little bit more. My kids turned on the TV. Now you can hear it. Sorry. So for the house, again, as y'all have probably seen, I have been decluttering a lot throughout the house. There are still some areas that I need to get into, so I want to work on those as well. A big one would be the playroom. We have got way too many toys, and especially after Christmas, I really need to get in there and purge a lot. Okay, so there are just some areas in the house that still really need a lot of work in the decluttering department, and so I really want to do that. So for financially, we have some bills that my husband and I have been working on paying off, and those will be paid off this year. I know that, and it'll feel so good when they are. But after I pay those off, I want to be of a better mindset and get into a better routine with a budget. I'm kind of bad at it, so I really want to work on that to help us save for our big goal. Now, I don't think that this will happen in 2020, but we need to start preparing for it. We need a new big van for our family. Our current van is like a 2003. It runs. It needs some work. But it's a 12 passenger, and we are currently a family of 11. So it's getting a little bit squished, and we would just like to upgrade to a big van. So kind of one of our goals was to wait until our truck was paid off, and then we would work towards, you know, getting a big van. And the truck will be paid off in about a year and a half. So I want to start working towards saving money for a big van. So the next thing would be in my marriage. So my husband and I obviously are very busy with 9 children, and he works, and actually his work schedule has changed recently, so we don't have as much time together. But I really want to work on getting back into consistent date nights. We used to be pretty good at this, and just life gets busy, and we'll go through seasons to where it's just not a top priority, and we have kind of been in one of those seasons again. And it's not so much out of lack of not wanting to, it's just out of lack of time, really. My mom is our babysitter as well, and her work schedule has changed too, so she's not as available. However, we have a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and I think that we're going to start utilizing them and just have a shorter date instead of an all-day date like we would do whenever my mom would watch the kids. So I told my husband that this morning. I was like, well, this is kind of one of my goals, is to work on getting back into having consistent date nights. And he was like, oh, I like that goal. Let's do that. So, okay. So that is more broad and for our family and for my marriage and financially. And all those things, you know, are things that we would be working towards anyways, not really for 2020. But for me personally, what I want to work on is I'm having some issues with trust and some things that we have been going through, and I know that God has the perfect timing. I guess faith is a better answer than trust. God has a perfect timing, and He knows the desires of our heart. And I know this, but I've been struggling with the faith in that department because it's just really, really hard. So I really want to work on my relationship with the Lord and diving into the Word and trusting Him and having faith that He has us exactly where we are supposed to be, and not worry and fret over the things that I am worrying and fretting about. Now this is going to be something that's very hard for me because I've gotten into a place to where I've become numb. If that makes sense. When you have these hurts, it's easy to just bury them and not feel them. And I really want to work on that area in my life, for me personally, and my relationship with the Lord. That's really hard to talk about. Okay, so with that, I want to work on my quiet time better. I had shared a while ago a video, and I can't remember what I titled it, about just not being happy and feeling run down and all those things. I will link it in the description box below. Actually, the comments and support that I received through that video was just phenomenal. I was actually very nervous to release that video. Anyways, but in that video, I had shared what I was trying to do to help myself through that season. And it was taking quiet time for myself. And it really did help. Well, naturally, I'm a busy mom. I have gotten away from that. I mean, I do every now and then. I think, okay, today I really need to sit down and focus on this and just take that quiet time for myself. And I will, but I need to do it consistently so that I don't get burned out and have those feelings. So I'm really hoping to strive to do that every day. I can take 20 minutes for myself of doing whatever helps me, you know, relieve stress in that moment. Sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's crocheting, sometimes, you know, praying, reading the Bible, you know, all those things. So with that said, I really want to make time for reading. I really enjoy reading. I just don't make the time for it anymore because I'm a busy mom and I'm trying to teach kids how to read. That takes up a lot of time. So anyways, and last but not least, I want to get back to eating healthy. Now, I don't eat terrible now. But earlier in the year, I was trying to lose all the baby weight from baby Drew, and I was eating no to very low carb. And I kind of stopped focusing on that to help me through that stressful period of time. And I want to just get back to focusing on, of eating very low carb and more veggies and stuff, because I just feel better whenever I eat like that. So not necessarily focusing on weight, but focusing on health. And drinking more water, because I just feel better whenever I take care of myself. So anyways, those are my goals for the year 2020. That just sounds so weird to think that 20 years ago was Y2K. Do y'all remember that, Y2K? Oh my goodness. I remember that. Was I a senior? No, I wasn't a senior. I was a freshman in high school. That's crazy. Anyways, so I won't go down that train. Anyways, so I hope that you all are blessed. I hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas, and leave in the comments below some of the goals that you are working on. I would love to chat with you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.